Welcome.
Welcome to the Gaming with Scissors podcast.
I love it!
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Gaming with Scissors podcast. I'm your host, Nitro Weasel 3K. I don't care about any of the things. I am joined, as always, by Piper. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Fantastic. And we actually have a new person with us now who is hopefully going to be writing for the site here pretty shortly. His name is Cory. I don't know what handle you want to go by, so I'm not going to just introduce you as something random.
I've got far too many, so.
Stay away from his handles.
That's right. Yeah, I got to stay away from your handle. It's uncomfortable for everybody.
No express permission.
Yeah, exactly. No written permission. It's like when you got to get on your friend's bus when you're in middle school and they won't let you on because the fat old lady that drives the bus won't let you get on there because you don't have a handwritten note from your mom.
Yeah.
Handwritten note to touch your handle zone. Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What kind of games do you like, and I don't know why do you want to write for the site? I guess.
Games I like. I like anything really involving numbers. I've always been a big fan of RPGs. My first major gaming obsessions were like the old school RPGs on like Super Nintendo, Legends of Mana, Final Fantasy, of course. And then I moved on more into like fighting games. Then, one day I got a computer and started playing more along the lines of like RTSs, and that's been my real big shtick for a really long time. I'm a big fan of numbers. I play D&D a lot, so I like to see stats.
He's exclusively playing Jazz Jackrabbit.
Yeah, sweet.
All the numbers.
That's all I want.
Which is funny. I always hated math, but I don't know. I think it just boils down to statistics. I like to see progression in numbers. I don't know.
It's the sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, great sense of accomplishment.
Yeah. Nick has been quoted as saying that any of the like RPGs and stuff are forever alone games. So at least you're playing fighting games where they're not forever alone games.
I always think I'm really good at fighting games, and then I take it to online and I get humbled within, the first couple of matches, and I usually just go back to playing through the storyline over and over again.
Yeah, that's literally like the one thing that I'm like, man, Injustice 2 looks so cool, and I love the comics that go with it, and I loved the first one, but goddamn, like if I'm not the worst at fighting games.
Prime example.
Yeah, embarrassingly bad. And then somebody will inevitably be like, dude, check out this Evo tournament where this guy did like an 86-hit combo. And I'm like, you know what? That guy lives in his mom's basement, so I win.
The throne of Mountain Dew bottles.
He doesn't live in his mom's basement. He's a millionaire, and he does whatever the hell he wants to. So that's the sad part.
Yeah, including that one dude that touched that girl's butt or whatever, and then he got in trouble for it because it was on live stream. He tried to pretend like he didn't. That was creepy.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like some Evo tournament. This guy like stood up and like just like butt patted this girl as she was like walking past, and then pretended he didn't do it. And he was one of the competitors. It was literally like I'm like, dude, that's straight up sexual assault. Like you can't even be like, no, but I was just kidding. No, you sexually assaulted somebody. Sorry, bro. Sorry that you are a terrible human being. Anyway, so sorry, I kind of cut you off there. So why do you want to write for the site, and what kind of articles are you thinking about bringing to the table, just kind of to give the listeners an idea? Because I assume that most of the people who listen to this also read the site. At least that's our hope.
Well, my big shtick here lately in the past even couple of years has been MOBAs. Started off with League of Legends. That game got absolutely aggravating to me. So, I had always said the day that Blizzard came out with its own MOBA, it would be probably the end of my social life as we know it. And so far, that prediction's come true. As soon as I heard Heroes of the Storm was doing, alpha and beta, I tried to get in as soon as possible. Been playing that pretty much ever since. And it's a love of the video game culture, and it's a bit of a passion of mine, something I grew up with, and I'm really kind of wanting to just, share that with the world, whether it be, coverage on something new, coverage on something a little bit old. I like to always go back and replay some of the older games of my childhood and see how they hold up now. See if there's any sort of even social relevance in some of the older RPGs that had a more in-depth story.
Right. Yeah. It's always kind of weird because you can definitely see like the shift in culture, even if games like were devved in the country. Like I'm not just talking strictly like Japanese games or whatever. Like just if you go back and look at like Tony Hawk.
Oh yeah.
You're just like, what the hell? Like the music is so terrible. All the style is so terrible. All the shit that we thought was so cool when we were like teenagers, we're like, oh my God, that's awful.
No, it's still cool.
Dude, I don't think we ever hit we never hit like 80s levels of bad, but I think like the 2000s were pretty rough.
We were getting close. We were really getting close.
Yeah, dude, like the early 2000s, the late 90s. Oof. Yikes. Except for, Jinko jeans are back, which is awesome for the Hardy Boys since they wrestle again now apparently in WWE.
No, dude, they've been wrestling for a while. It's just...
Yeah, just not in their Jinkos.
Yeah, that's what's back.
I think those are the exact same pair of Jinkos they wore like beforehand too. So
yeah, he just had the one pair that he got at like Kmart that had the straps on it. Sweet. He just took the straps off because his mom told him he couldn't wear them to school.
You're gonna trip someone.
Yeah, you're gonna trip someone. You'll hurt yourself or others. You'd be a bad man.
Take those garbage pants off.
Yeah. Ain't nobody want to see that. Your grandma's not gonna like it. She can see your underwear sticking out over the back of them. That's a literal conversation that I had with my family when I was growing up. So that's fun. That's good. All right. Well, I know we're only a few minutes into the show, but for anybody who doesn't know, we actually switched formats here. We actually have joined a larger podcast network. So, Sean, did you want to tell them a little bit of information about the new podcast network that we're on?
Yeah. So I met a guy and we kind of talked, and I showed him the podcast, and his name's Ricky. He's a really awesome guy. So I told him, hey man, I know you do this podcast stuff. And so we just started this new podcast and it's really bad. So could you give me some pointers, maybe a little maybe if you went in this direction or try something like this. That's all I was looking for. I'm not trying to whore us out and in hopes of anything happening.
No, that's our job. We do that. We do that ourselves.
You do that. I don't like to do that. That's not me.
I know. It's so bad.
I always feel awkward about it. So anyway, Ricky came back to me and was like, dude, I really like this. Y'all's show is really good. And he offered to kind of take us on as one of their new shows on the network. And the network that we're now under is Astro Panda Productions. And they have a lot of entertainment kind of shows. Their other shows are really good. And in my opinion, we don't hold a candle to them. But I really like them. And if Ricky likes us, then I'm happy. And that means that someone has faith in this horrible thing that we do.
Yeah. People other than people who are related to us.
Moms, that's it, right?
Yeah, our moms.
We always say our moms listen.
We keep saying this, and it's true. Our wives don't care. They're like, oh, you did a thing? Great. Yeah, I heard you doing it. I was trying to sleep, and you were annoying me. So I'm very proud of you for doing whatever thing you did, but can you shut your face now? That's pretty much how our wives handle us doing this, because we're grown adult men. But as an aside from that, I brought it up because we actually have some sponsors that we're going to have to throw to now for a quick commercial break. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and then we're going to get into, as usual, what we did in gaming this week. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's Mom Zone. Breaking news, the Fremont family declares where they're going for back to school.
The Fremonts are going with Academy.
Mrs. Fremont, why Academy over another store?
When my kids say they'll never use math in the real world, I just show them how low my Academy receipt is.
Do you have any other thoughts?
Look, back to school is a numbers game, and numbers don't lie.
Nobody starts your season with better brands and lower prices than Academy. Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less. Price match guarantee details at academy.com.
Okay, and we are back. We appreciate you guys hanging out through that and taking a listen to those. It really it helps us and the podcast network we're a part of out. So that's really cool, you guys. I'm glad you made it through. So, boys, mans, what did you do this week in gaming? Piper, you want to start?
I will start. This week in gaming has been really, I honestly don't remember what we played because it'll be the same thing for you and I. We have been playing some Diablo 3 season. Are we on 10? Is this
9 or 10? I don't remember.
Whatever.
I've never played any. I literally just bought the expansion so that you and I could play adventure mode like last week.
Yeah. So we've been playing that a bunch. I've been playing a little bit by myself, and then Matt and I've been playing some. How have you enjoyed the experience?
It's
better than you remember.
Yeah, it's better than it used to be. It also helps when you have a crew, like, because granted, it's just you and I. It's still a group, which makes it significantly better. Because when you play Diablo just by yourself or with the same like one person or two people that you've played with for years, it's not as fun because you're not like experiencing new things with like a new team or whatever. But you and I have not played a lot of those games together, surprisingly, even though they're some of your favorites. So
I love those action RPGs like that. Like I'm constantly hunting for like really good Diablo clones because I've beaten all the Diablos, and I've beaten Torchlight 1, Torchlight 2, and we played Path of Exile, so I'm always looking for something new to try out. And we did play that Viking game, that nonsensical Viking one that was Calypso developed it. What was it called?
Yeah, the Vikings Wolves of Midgard. Yeah, and you know what? I'm enjoying myself with that too. Not as much as throwback to Diablo, but that is fun. And that one I can play alone because I'm super I love Viking mythology and that kind of stuff. And it's very loosely based on that stuff, but it is enough that it keeps me very interested, even when I'm not playing with somebody, because they're telling stories about gods and you have to go raiding, and you have to collect so much stuff to build your altar, and you got to sacrifice blood to your god to make them happy to give you experience points. And so it's kind of neat. I like it.
I said blood for the blood god.
Blood for the blood god. Hey, it's sweet on blind with skulls for the sacrifices.
We were doing that, and that game was pretty fun, other than the fact that nobody had the same accent in the game. So it's like there's not a single like Scandinavian accent there.
Regional inconsistencies.
There's no consistencies. Like, that guy, he's obviously British, and that guy, he might be Australian, and that lady is just like from Brooklyn. So why are you in this game?
That bugs the crap out of me too. I don't know why. It's always been a tick of mine.
That's one of my issues with Game of Thrones. And Matt, we've talked about that before. I love Game of Thrones, but nobody has the same accent. There could be like two people in the same town that are from that town, and they don't sound the same. One is distinctly like Irish, and then the other person might have a very like super like proper British accent. And you're like, no, you are neighbors. You neighbors need to sound the same. At least try.
Yeah, no, I think it's because like, for some reason, and this is not just relegated to fantasy and popular fiction. For some reason, when you think fantasy, you think like English accent, and I think it's just because it's, for some reason in my head, it's like it's fancy, right? So it's fancy fantasy people, and especially kings and stuff. They're in their fancy clothes. They're obviously English, because why not?
Right. And at least they're trying. At least they're not like Kevin Costner in it with Robin Hood, where everybody has this British accent, and then Kevin Costner doesn't.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and what else? There was another movie that was like that too. It was with Tom Cruise.
The Last Samurai.
No, well, he was supposed to be a white guy in that. No, it was like in Nazi Germany.
Oh, Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, yeah, right. Not even an attempt at a German accent or any accent.
No, just Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Exactly. And that bothers me. That really pulls me out. But I could get over it with Game of Thrones because it's a damn good show.
You know what? I think out of 3 episodes, we've mentioned a Scientologist in all 3 episodes. This is our 4th episode now.
They're going to get turned on to us, and we're either going to be fans or they're going to be mailing us like heads.
I've been saying not nice things, and I don't want them to stand outside of my house with signs. So, Team Tom Cruise. Team Tom Cruise.jpg. Whatever you guys need.
That's what Is that all we've been playing? Oh, no. Last night, we started playing Paragon. That's the new one.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, Paragon. So, Cory, you haven't played Paragon yet, right? You're planning on playing it with us literally as soon as we're done recording this for the first time?
Yeah, I looked a little bit into it today. It looks like a really pretty game, but I'm just kind of curious as to what it is exactly. I mean, I know it's an MMO.
It is no, it's not an MMO. It is a rock solid MOBA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is if Dota's purchasing system had a baby with Hearthstone, and then that had a baby with Smite. And then they stole a bunch of characters from things that already existed.
Yeah, it's very like the mechanics are very similar to Smite, but to me it's very much like it reminds me of World of Warcraft PvP mixed with Smite, because you can actually there's the movement is very like fluid, and you can jump and all this other stuff, and you can it's not like, oh, I'm gonna climb up this wall or anything, but it's very movement heavy.
And the movement actually matters. If there's a bullet coming towards you and you step to the right or left, you that bullet misses you. It plays,
truly skill shots.
Yeah, it plays like a third person shooter almost in some sections,
kind of
depending on who you're playing with.
It's a man. I really like it. Epic did a solid job, and I don't know why I haven't heard anybody talking about. Oh, I play this game.
Yeah, we did an article for it I wrote an article for it just when the trailers came out, before it was in open beta, I think. But I really didn't hear much about it after it came out. I was excited because I believe at the time Smite had come out on Xbox One, but there was no MOBA available on PS4. And I had a PS4, and I was really excited because I had heard that it was going to be on PS4. Now, of course, we ended up playing it on PC because PC Master Race. But I wanted to play it on PC just because I got a buddy that he gave me a founders pack key for it, so I was able to get all the all the gods, forever the gods. I guess they're not gods, but I guess I'm thinking Smite. But all the characters, I get them when they release. So that's the only reason I want to play on PC. Yeah,
I mean, it easily translates to console. It's not like you have to play this on PC kind of game.
Well, I was messing with it, playing on my controller just for funsies while we were playing it. It does. It works really, really well. I was actually very surprised about how well it worked. Because I would just keep my 360 controller hooked in because I'm not a dummy and I don't want to play, like platforming games on my stupid keyboard.
This ain't 1994.
That's dumb. That's dumb. Ain't nobody want to do that. Ain't nobody like no arrow keys. Get out of here. So yeah, it's been interesting, but I've discovered that like I'm only good with very specific characters too, which like that's pretty standard on MOBA. But like I picked a melee character and got stomped. Like I got my face stomped in.
Are you usually a melee guy or?
I'm usually just a healer of any kind, but when you first start, there's not really any like support characters available to you. You have to earn them. So like the way it kind of works is like they almost don't want you playing characters that they know are too hard for you at first. So the characters unlock by day. So like you have to like, once I beat my third day missions, then it'll unlock the intermediate characters or whatever. So it's kind of interesting, but it does have a little bit of give us your money to it, because to get unlocked for certain characters, you have to do what's called masteries for them. So like your character will level, but you won't get anything for it except for like you'll get like a loot crate essentially. But to get the masteries, it's some super expensive amount of in-game money, or it's $20 real life money per character.
I think if you level the character up high enough, it unlocks mastery. I don't think if you want to skip it, if you want to skip through all that and get all the good stuff, then you can pay in-game or real human dollars, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I was looking at that today, and like 1,000 of these weird in-game monies is like $20, and to get a character mastery is like 1,300 coins. So you would have to buy a $20 chip and then another like $5 or $10 worth of in-game currency, which is just insane. Like that's so much money. Some
of those skins are like $600 and $700.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In-game currency. It's not cheap.
No. But so far I played my first game against people before we started recording, and I didn't do too bad. My team won, but I did play my same character that I always play, one of my two characters.
That magical man?
Couldn't even, no. It was the lady with the staff that has like the slowing abilities. I think it's like Drecker or Drecka or something like that. I don't remember. The lady I played last night that I just absolutely dominated the scoreboard with.
Oh, you got like the 11 kills and everybody else had like 6.
Yeah. So I played as her because obviously like that was my niche character. So I'm rocking her, and then I'm rocking the lady with the weird scorpion tail robot arm.
See, I haven't played her yet. She looks kind of sweet. I played against her today, and she wrecked me. So I might have to.
That's how I usually judge who I'm going to buy.
How much destruction they drop on your face.
Yeah.
You're like, awesome. I didn't even get away from my turret before I was dead. Got to buy that character. The problem is it's some dude who's way more suited to play that character than me. It's kind of like when I'm playing Overwatch and I see some dude who's a really good Genji, and I'm like, I'm gonna Genji that guy because I'm gonna show him I'm better. I'm not better.
No,
I'm not. I can't be better. I will never be as good as that guy because it actually takes skill to play those characters. And I think this game is going to be that way too.
It turns out that guy's actually a grandmaster.
Yeah, and that guy actually is Genji in real life.
Yeah, he's playing with a sword in his hand. He's just like, clack, 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 clack.
That would be funny if he was Cyborg Ninja from Metal Gear. That'd be hilarious. Like he's like, you know how I control it? I cover my junk and do cartwheels down a hallway. That's a Metal Gear Solid 2 joke. You're all welcome. Anybody listening? That one's free. You're welcome.
Yeah, that guy over there.
Yeah, Mom. Hi, Mom.
I hope you like my nude cartwheel man joke.
Yeah, that you won't understand because you didn't play games in the early 2000s.
Does your mom play games now?
No, actually, my mom is the reason I play video games.
Really?
Which is kind of interesting. Yeah. She, when I was a kid, we got a Nintendo in our house.
She turned you on to the Mario.
Well, no, she actually really likes Tetris. My mom's an engineer, so she really likes Tetris, like how pieces fit together and being able to speed the parts up and stuff. And so
just Russian stuff.
Yeah, hashtag only Russian things,
only
like
Russian
our president.
Things.
What?
Oh.
Anyway,
we're gonna have to edit that one out.
Yep, we're gonna have to edit that out. Hey, everybody, you're gonna wonder why there was just a gap there. It's a secret. You'll never know. Yeah, no, but my mom used to really like to play Tetris, and we used to like compete when I was a little kid to see who could get like a higher score. And then I had it on my Game Boy too. So anytime we were on like a long trip, she would play one and then I'd play one and we'd just see who got the higher score. So she's really one of the big reasons I play games at all. So that's
interesting. It's funny that you say that because my dad, he played video games with me. Like it seemed begrudgingly when I was really little, like Nintendo, like we play Mario and like DuckTales and, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers and all those the good Capcom games and the good Nintendo like first party titles.
Right.
But one game that my dad actually played that I remember that he I went out on his own and he was like, I'm going to play this game was Tetris. He loved Tetris. He loved it so much that I remember that was one of the things that he had to take with him when he went to Africa because my dad was Army, so he got deployed to Somalia and, you tell me stories about that's what he did over there when they weren't doing anything. They were just playing Tetris on Game Boy, and he was the Tetris King of Somalia. So they would carry him around on a chair and they'd feed him grapes and all this.
We're gonna need to get you a T-shirt that says "Grandson of the Tetris King of Somalia" or whatever.
Not my dad, not my grandpa.
Son of the Tetris King of Somalia.
Yeah,
then when just when people give you shit, you just be like, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
No one will get that joke at all, ever.
I am the son of the mighty Somalian Tetris King. Then you can start sending people emails and asking for money and just say, my Tetris King father, he really needs you to send me $1 million.
He's in jail. He needs the new Tetris.
He needs the new Tetris.
If you $1 million, you'll get $4 million back.
That's right, because exchanges and exchange systems or something.
And then diamonds somewhere.
There is no free toaster. Do not talk about Toaster Bonanza. That's a joke from a web series. If anybody gets that, leave a comment. Anyway, so Cory, how about you? What did you play this last week?
Well, they did open up the open beta for the Heroes of the Storm 2.0 that they're about to do, which I don't know if you guys are really know what's going on with that. Yeah. It's they're revamping pretty much the entire shop and the way they do rewards. There's 3 different kinds of currencies now as opposed to just the one. They got it to where you no longer have to spend real life money to get skins. You can actually get them in the loot crates, kind of along the same lines as Overwatch.
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, Yeah.
I was sick of like having to actually spend dollars to get one of those skins because they're so sweet. But I'm like, no way I'm gonna buy a $60 like pack of skins just so I can get that one, that I have to have.
Right. And then hats off to Blizzard. I also read something they released about the whole master skin situation, that they kind of took that out of context, charging 10,000 gold for a master skin. And,
stupid.
Yeah, because then you're faced with the problem of, okay, do I want to buy this master skin or do I want to buy a new champ? That's, 9 chances out of 10 you're going to buy the new hero before you are his skin. So,
especially if it's a new hero, because their new heroes are consistently broken.
Pretty broken, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to be on top, you're going to drop that 15,000 gold for somebody brand new.
Exactly. There's a reason they're banned like every single game. Which, yeah, that also got me the opportunity to play Cassia, which was the Diablo 2 Amazon they just dropped. I ended up actually buying her on my regular account. I really enjoyed her. But yeah, like you said, broken, crazy burst damage, blinds, all that jazz. And then I heard you guys talking about Minion Masters, so I decided to give it an old download.
It's a solid game.
I was on that train and off that train faster than anything I've ever played in my life. I was like, you know what? Like, I got my 5 cards I started with, and I'm not going to give them money for that game. Like, I'm sorry. If I wasn't getting stomped consistently by people who had bought a bunch of cards, I would spend some down the road. I did it once in a while with Hearthstone when I was playing that, buying a pack here and there. But like Hearthstone, you can build a pretty solid deck without dropping a bunch of coin on it.
Too much money, yeah.
But oh my god, Minion Masters is like, if you want something other than just a stick figure that we can throw a grenade at, you're gonna go ahead and need to give us $40. And I'm like, you can go ahead and eat the giantest bag of dicks.
No, dude, you just need to put some time into it. I have a really, really good assortment of cards, and I have not spent a dime on that game. Oh, wait, no, I lie. I did get it in a Humble Monthly, and I think there might have been like a boost or something in there.
Yeah, because it is just awful. I can't take it, dude. I get stomped every round. I don't know how I'm supposed to get new money to get new cards when I get stomped every round.
Just don't lose. Quit losing.
I can't get good, son. That game is not a skill-based game. It is very much based on what your cards are.
Well, yeah. Well, no, if you know the counters, and you play, like if you played there's a phone game. What was it? The Clash Royale. So
let me stop you right there. If I played a phone game, the answer is no.
There are a handful of mobile games I like, and I did play Clash Royale, which it's essentially the exact same game, just not good looking. And it doesn't. It looks like Clash of Clans, and that's a horrible, like, that company is just like a big old pile of garbage. But I did like that game. I played it for a couple weeks, so it was at least slightly enjoyable. But if you know how to play that game, and I think that's why it was easy for me to transition into Minion Masters. And I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was a bad game. It's just not the best game you could play. I'd rather play Hearthstone. Hearthstone's way better.
Yeah, I mean, you and I were really just playing it between matches while WrestleMania was on. So, I mean, for that, it's whatever. I'm not going to play it anymore. It can die in a fire. I can't do it, man. I get so mad. Like, I don't usually get mad at games, but that game, for some reason, I'm like, dude, you have like 86 cards. You just keep throwing at me that I don't have any, like, I cannot do anything to you. So I'm finished. Like, I'm good. I just closed out, and I was like, I'm going to switch over to something else that I know I can win at. And then I switched over to something else, and I didn't win at that either. So maybe I'm just bad.
I'll teach you how to play the game. I'll make you a nice little guide, and you could sit there and you can be good at Minion Masters. I promise.
Why you got to make me a guide? Why don't you write one for the site? And
it's just it's only going to be specific for you because nobody's going to play that game. I don't think there's a lot of people playing it, and every person I play against, they're like South America. So I don't know if it's like big there, or if it was developed in South America, but there's a huge player base.
All right. Well, anybody who's listening to this, friend us online and then tell Sean you play, Minion Masters, because I just wanted to see, like, it'll be the only thing we get tweets out. We give games away and nobody tweets us. So we'll just be like, who played Minion Masters? You just get like 75 people.
I love that game. It's so good.
I'm the best at that game. I love it. I have T-shirts. I'm like, there's T-shirts? What's happening? What?
DIY T-shirts, totally.
Yeah, it just has like just a circle on it with an eyeball. It's like, this is my card. This is my favorite card. I'm like nondescript eyeball monster. Sweet, good for you.
He's the best.
He is the best. He's unstoppable. I spent $60 out of my mom's wallet to get him. Good. That's why I'm losing all the time and I don't play it anymore.
Because you didn't steal enough of your mom's credit cards.
Because I didn't steal enough of my mom's money, and it makes me want to flip a table. Everything is horrible. So, anyway, what else did you play, Corey? Was that it?
Oh no, I like I always say, I like try to go back and like play some of the older games in my yesteryears, and I actually started through another
Please say
replay.
it's Jazz Jackrabbit.
No, it's Final Fantasy X. And
that's a good game.
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine. He purchased a remaster for it. I was watching him play it for a while, and it made me incredibly nostalgic. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy it. And I still have my old PS2 with the original save file. I loaded up the save file and had no idea what was going on in my game. So I started over again. And I found out the hard way that, this was before a time where you could skip the cutscenes because, the cutscenes were pretty big for back in the day. So...
Sorry, you need to invest 45 minutes in this little movie that we made, and then you can play for 2 minutes and then an hour and a half cutscene.
If I could ever look back on the statistics of my life, I would want to know how many I did in Final Fantasy X cutscenes alone, because it's got to be an astronomical number at this point. But yeah, no, I'm just going through, enjoying it still. I really always loved the leveling system in that game, the sphere grid. I always thought it was really original, surprisingly customizable. And it's one of those kind of bucket list games for me, too, because it's one of those games that I played a lot in the day, but never really got all the little nooks and crannies into it. So I'm actually going through and trying to get, all of the summons and all the crazy items and, having to reach, charge your weapon to max power and going through all that stuff without the assist of the old Game Shark from back in the day. So
wasn't that re-released for PS4 recently?
PS4 and then PC, yeah. I think they did like a package bundle where it's like Final Fantasy X and X-2.
Oh, X-2 is garbage, dude.
Oh, man.
It's so bad.
The only thing I liked about it was the general play of the game as far as characters, storyline, all of that. I hated it, but I liked the idea that they were bringing back the idea of the red mages. You hadn't seen those since I don't even remember if it was in 6 or anything. They definitely had a more nostalgic throwback to their combat system and that's what I liked about it. But other than that, it was a little bit on the lackluster side. It stank up the place a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think that I've played any of the Final Fantasies after 8. And I didn't even play. I was never a big Final Fantasy guy. I don't know why. I just wasn't. I kind of liked the MMOs a little bit, just because I like the graphical style that they use, where they're kind of weird, tall, elf-like looking things for all the characters. But I've never played it. I do want to play 15 though. 15 looks awesome, and I've not picked it up yet. I need to get it because it looks sweet as hell.
I have it, and it's wrapped up still. I have not taken it out of the box. Well, because I didn't want to install it on my PS4 because it's giant, and that was I have the 500 gig hard drive of mine. I wasn't fancy, and I didn't buy the little external upgrade thing. But now,
dude, gotta get that Nyko, son. That thing is the best purchase I've ever made.
I know. I want to get one, but now that they support the external hard drives, I threw on a 2 terabyte external, and now I got all my games loaded on there. So I'm probably gonna next couple of days I'm gonna open that up, and I want to play it because I got friends that are always posting videos and clips and stuff from it. I'm like, man, this game looks really cool. So I got enough hard drive space. I can install it on my PS4 and give it a little go and see how good or terrible it is.
Yeah, I have a copy of Yakuza 0 that's sitting sealed still, but I have the really fancy edition for PS4 that came with
the steel case one.
It came with business cards or something, and a business card holder. I don't know. But I was gonna do a quick unboxing video of it, but I just haven't had any time. So I need to just knock that out and then publish it so that I can have the game to play. Because I don't like to do those fake ass unboxings that some people do where they have it open already and they already know what's in there.
Oh, look at this!
It's amazing. Can you believe it? I got this mouse pad. I'm like, dude, it's all dusty. You were just using it. You just threw it back in a box.
There's Doritos on it.
Yeah. It's delicious. He just licks it. He's like, tastes so good. So yeah, no, I need to do that with that as well. So, I have been playing Paragons and Mini Masters as well. But I also, when I told you I got annoyed with Minion Masters, I switched to a different game.
Yes.
I went over to Ghost in the Shell SAC First Assault Online.
Is that a free game?
It is free in the weirdest way possible.
Go on.
I have like I bought a pack. I think I have like a $10 version of or something that came with like some free crap. But I believe it's Nexon. So if that gives you any idea.
Oh, dude.
So there's like 12 types of currency, and you're not going to be able to buy certain things with like. No, seriously, have you ever played an Nexon game, Cory?
No.
They are infamous for like, okay, like here's these 4. So here's your in-game currency that you get from killing whatever, right? So your gold, right? So here's this, and then we've got like diamonds, and diamonds you buy with your own money. So there's that. Well, and then we have like this other thing that looks like a shark head, and then now that you get that by fighting animals in the wild and then skinning their pelts off and then wearing them with nothing on, but you're just nudity rubbing on the inside of the animal skin, and only when the moon is out. And then you get like 5 coins for that.
The thing I hate about Nexon is they actually make decent games, but if they weren't such scumbags about all like the purchasing and stuff, like they actually have some legit games. Like I remember that we used to play Vindictus.
Yeah, dude, that game is great. I love that game. It's so pretty.
But you cannot progress in it unless you spend a shit ton of money.
God, it's so sad.
I was right. It is Nexon, by the way.
Yeah, they make all kinds of like really like interesting like decent games. Like and Cory, I know you know what MapleStory is, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They make MapleStory. See, the thing that really is kind of depressing about it is they have a new game that just came out or is about to come out called Lawbreakers. So it's like Overwatch with like lots and lots of like flying around and a ton of cursing.
But wasn't it made by one of the guys who was like, there's somebody like super famous from old school PC days connected to that, right?
I think so. I don't remember who it was. Maybe somebody from like Unreal or Doom or something like that.
Yeah.
But, dude, the game looks so sweet, but like they drop so many F-bombs in the trailer. It's like who are you marketing for this? This is like 16-year-old just like punk kids. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna swear at you when I'm sitting at my computer, and my game's gonna swear at you too. Ha! Yeah.
It's one of those kids that like Sean and I were talking the other day because like we had a funny idea for a T-shirt that had an F-bomb on it. And we were like, well, we're not comfortable like making T-shirts that have the F word on it just because, you know, we're adult men,
right?
And we don't need to be printing that because like it's not about free speech. It's more about like I don't really have a need to offend somebody else with what I'm saying if I can avoid it. Like I don't really just want to have that conversation with anybody. But like we're like, nah, we don't really wear T-shirts with an F-bomb on it. But the kid who's gonna enjoy this game, he's got an F word T. It's just a giant T-shirt with just the F-bomb right in the middle of it.
Just printed all over it.
That's it. Yeah. It's just some pattern. It's just like some typography pattern. And it's
just every single font known to man, wingdings included.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just from top to bottom. And then just he just got a belt buckle that says it too, just for good measure. Because he's like, I wanted it on the top of my dick.
Like, in case you forget
the tattoo yet.
Mom won't let me get the tattoo because I'm only 16 and I sound like this because I smoke 14 packs a day. I'll steal them from my grandma. She doesn't know. She's on too many Xanax.
Virginia Slims.
Yeah.
Virginia Slims and Xanax. She only drank Old Crow and she drank it straight out of the bottle. So I've been playing the Ghost in the Shell. And like the thing with the Ghost in the Shell game is like, so like I was just feeling all Ghost in the Shell because I went and saw the movie. And I actually am in the minority in that I enjoyed the movie. People are going to hate it, but I enjoyed it. If you're curious at all, on our sister podcast, Nerds at Drive-Ins, I actually did like a quick sit down with Zero Ping on it. So if you want to listen to that, you can jump over and listen to that. And there's a written review over at nerdlifetx.com. So you should go read that if you want to know what I think about it. But after seeing the movie, I was feeling pretty nostalgic. I wanted to play some Ghost in the Shell games. I have a lot of the console games, but I was just like, this is on here. And I was getting annoyed with, Minion Masters. So I popped it in and it's interesting. It's like, it basically like Call of Duty-ish. Like it's just one of those like kind of like a mindless shooter, except for like you can call in your Tacoma and so like certain like missions and stuff. And all the guns are fully automatic, which means there's no like I mean, besides the sniper rifles. So like if you want to shoot somebody and you want to do like burst fire, you actually have to like tap the button. So there's some skill involved. There's like some dudes that are really good at it. Like if you go onto the forums, there's guys talking about firing patterns and all this crazy stuff about like they're super into like how each gun works and when, if you're in this short throw map, you want to go to this one. And like, it's kind of interesting. It's got like an interesting community behind it. And you get to like, each character has like their own thing. Like Borama, he has like a giant arm rocket launcher that he can use. And Kusanagi has her thermoptic camo. So she can like, if you kill enough people, you get a high enough score, you can turn on your thermoptic camo. But it's really cool because if you, like it's kind of like in a MOBA where like, if you kill enough people, you charge up and you eventually get your ult. It kind of works like that, only you can do a double charge on it. And if you do the double charge, it lasts a little bit longer. And the other players around you can tap the alt button at the same time and they can clone your alt. So like if you're invisible and you get a level 2 invisibility like turned on, your camouflage turned on, everybody around you can tap their Q key, which is like the alt key, and they can all get thermoptic camo as well. Now they get the level 1 camo, you get the level 2, but it's still kind of sweet that you can sync your ability with the rest of your team. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, I also played earlier, like after our last podcast, I played a little bit of For Honor, and I thought it was pretty funny because we were talking about how crappy it was that like things were so expensive in that game. And apparently I saw something online. There was on Reddit, there was a bunch of people were talking about doing like a literal strike where they would just not play For Honor for a day. And apparently Ubisoft saw that and was like, no. We were just kidding. We'll make things cheaper. So they immediately pushed an update out. All matches, Steel income is increased by 25%. Daily orders for Steel are increased by 33%. Side order income increased by 50%. Community order Steel rewards increased from 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 Steel, which basically they almost doubled what you get for like community events, and everything else is up by at least 25%. Like it blows my mind.
That is just like, that's admitting to the fact that you were just like scamming people.
Well, I don't think any of us are surprised.
No, but it looks so bad on them, and that's why Ubisoft can't maintain a community, because they don't appreciate the community and they don't reward anybody for anything.
They don't like, I mean, at least I hear
they don't like gamers, and I don't get that.
They hate them.
No, they love their wallets. They hate them as like a person.
Yeah, like as people, you're garbage, but as dollar signs, you better keep that flowing. Yeah, well, it's we were having that conversation about like. At Christmas time, there was a big backlash on Blizzard for the May skin because everybody thought it was trash. They're like, it's winter, and you gave us a garbage May. Like everybody was mad because May's whole thing is she freezes things, so everybody expected this amazing May skin, and basically she just has a Santa hat.
Yeah, for all the money.
Yeah, it was super expensive.
It was 3,000 gold. Yeah,
and Blizzard came out and was like, "Dude, we're so sorry. Like we actually thought that we had done enough to make it merit that." But like they came out and formally apologized. That's how you handle it if you don't want to piss people off. You don't just see somebody going, yeah, by the way, we're going to stop playing your game for an entire day so you won't make any money, unless you do that. We essentially had to hold their game hostage before they would listen.
It should never come to that, ever.
And look what Blizzard did with the next seasonal event after that. Look at the 3,000 gold skins that they released. They were awesome.
They were crazy. Everyone since then has been crazy.
Really
and
good.
Before that, they were doing a pretty good job too. But like even some of the 700 ones, I was like, that's only 700. Like that blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a great job with that. So, but yeah, so we are going to take another break real quick, and then we're going to get into our news story that we want to talk about for the day. We're going to try and go a little shorter than usual this time because we did have some people say that they kind of wish the show was just a little bit shorter, mainly because they were sick of my voice.
Yeah, we're gonna test this out.
Yeah, so we're going to try and cut off a little bit sooner than usual. So we're going to take another short break, and then when we come back, we'll cover our final topic, and we will do our goodbyes. So stick around.
It's Mom Zone. Breaking news, the Fremont family declares where they're going for back to school.
The Fremonts are going with Academy.
Mrs. Fremont, why Academy over another store?
When my kids say they'll never use math in the real world, I just show them how low my Academy receipt is.
Do you have any other thoughts?
Look, back to school is a numbers game, and numbers don't lie.
Nobody starts your season with better brands and lower prices than Academy. Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less. Price match guarantee details at academy.com.
Ready? Okay. We got paper, yes we do. White ruled notebooks, pencils, glue. We got crayons every hue. School supplies for your whole crew. Target's got everything you need to ready, set, go back to school.
Welcome back. Thanks for hanging around through that. So, we were trying to decide what we wanted to talk about this week, and I had something that really kind of like bothered me a little bit, and so I brought it up, and Sean read the article regarding this news topic, and he was like, that's kind of weird.
I wouldn't use I don't think weird is the word that I would use for my feelings about this.
Yeah, frustrated, shitty is what I would say, but
rage face is
yeah. So are you guys familiar with Atlus as a company? I know, Sean, you and I talked a little bit. Cory, are you?
Yeah, very, very vaguely.
Okay, Sean?
Yeah, all my experience is because I collect a lot of like retro games. I love, picking up really anything old. So I know Atlus from all of the RPGs that they did, and like they had a bunch of like, PS2 and GameCube games that are really, really good. They're regarded as like, these are like collector must-haves. So that's how I know them. I haven't played very many of like their current games, like we're discussing Persona 5. I've never played a Persona game. I know literally nothing about them other than it's a role-playing game. But I've always thought, oh, they look cool. And I saw Persona 5 and I was like, oh man, I love the art style. I like this. I might want to buy it. After I read this, I was like, I don't want to buy this game. So
yeah, that's the same thing I did, because I actually like the Persona games. I played one of them when I was on my last trip. I really like the Persona games. Cory, have you played any of them?
No, just like Sean, I had never actually played Persona 5. Same thing. It looks really cool. Looks like it might be right down my alley, but
yeah. So they kind of work, just for anybody who hasn't played them. They work a little bit like Pokemon, except for they are like personas. They're essentially like demons that you get to control. And a lot of the Persona games has like some pretty dark stuff. And like Nick was talking about in one of our old episodes, there's one character who literally shoots himself in the head, and that's how he brings his persona out. So like they're kind of dark. And some of the old ones like Shin Megami Tensei is where I think the series kind of started. And back then it was a lot of like hacking, like these monsters that would hack through as physical things, but they could hack in through your computer. But these new Persona games, they can pull their personas in and out. And like I said, it kind of works like Pokemon. And they've got different types, and you can merge two of them together to make new ones and all this fun stuff. So they're really neat. I've never really been excited for a new one to come out until I saw 5. 5 looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like playing an anime is literally what it looks like. It's got this great cell shaded art style. It looks gorgeous. It just looks so awesome. And then Atlus.com put out a press release. The big problem is not with the beginning of the press release so much as with the end. I'm going to read you the section that I think is the biggest problem. We have some other issues, but I think this is the biggest problem. One of the subheadings says, streaming content. This being a Japanese title with a single playthrough story means our masters in Japan are very wary about it. Sharing is currently blocked through the native PS4 UI. However, if you do plan on streaming, video guidelines above apply except for length. And we'll get into what those were in a minute. This is all in bold text. If you decide to stream past day 7/7, and then in parentheses, I highly recommend not doing this. You have been warned. And that's all in caps, like they're yelling at you. You do so at the risk of being issued a content ID claim or worse, a channel strike / account suspension. So if you put any footage up on your YouTube channel after day 7/7 in the game, which from what I understand is pretty early on, they will issue a copyright takedown on your channel. And nobody knew how serious they were about this. As of yesterday, people were getting taken down. They're taking this very seriously, and YouTube is siding with Atlus.
Which is this is like the Sega mentality, where Sega didn't want you doing anything with their games. Nintendo, same way. I don't know what's up with these Japanese companies where they're just like, no, you can't. Sorry, and we win. Like there's no, because it's their content, so they have complete control over it. But it's absolute bullshit.
Yeah, they steamroll you, and it sucks. So some of the other stuff as far as video content is you have to limit your videos to 90 minutes long at the most.
But that's easy. I mean, who's going to watch a 90-minute video?
Well, it's fine unless you're doing an entire playthrough series.
Well, yeah, but most of those, they usually break them down to like 15-minute sections, or they'll do like a chapter or whatever.
Right. No major story spoilers, which whatever.
It's understandable.
You're not allowed to capture any footage from any boss fights except for one. And you must not focus solely on cutscenes / animations. Your videos should prominently feature dungeon crawling / spending time in Tokyo. You're allowed to post straight gameplay or have commentary. So essentially, they're telling you what you can do with something you've already paid them for. Blocking the PS4 UI is not really that weird. I've seen games do it during loading scenes and stuff to kind of prevent you from showcasing something that might be weird that it shows. A great example, I kicked back on Dragon Age Inquisition recently, and that's another thing I played this week that I didn't mention earlier. And it actually doesn't let you stream while the game is going from the start menu into the game. Like the loading screen, it won't let you stream that, which is weird. I don't know why it won't.
Oh, okay, so I know a little bit of that. So a lot of these game companies do not have the rights to the music that they use. So because of that, you can post a video up even if you've received permission from like a company and they said, yeah, it's cool if you live stream or do a let's play or whatever on our game. But if you are playing a cutscene or the loading screens or like credits or something like that, a lot of those companies, they license that music from the creators. They don't have somebody in-house do it. So they have to pay licensing fees to use it in the game. That does not give people who are creating new content, like, creating, let's plays or commentary or whatever, that does not give them license to use it. So that's why that's why they block you on that, is to prevent you from getting that copyright strike on something that they have no control over, that the original owners will do. And I experienced that when I did we were doing a let's play of that new Devil May Cry that came out, the DMC. We got hit with a bunch of claims, not any strikes, but it was just like, oh, you can't monetize these videos. And the reason was because, like Sony BMG owned the rights to this song, and they are going to make the, whatever the royalties from the ads that are going to roll. So that's understandable. Like, I totally get that. And just like you're saying, it makes sense. And that doesn't really affect the experience that the person's going to get when watching it on like YouTube or watching on live stream. I can deal with that totally.
Right. But I just think why are you being so nasty to your fans?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, why are you doing that? Because here's the thing, the way it's written and with the sections bolded and caps like that, if you were using that in a chat channel, that would be yelling,
yes,
or being forceful with somebody. And you don't, as a company, have a right to talk to the people who bought your product like that, unless you're willing to deal with the fallout, which is the consequences from that.
Yes.
Like, if you're going to talk to your fans like that, they're gonna absolutely destroy you, because they don't want to hear it. They don't need their video games talking down to them. Everybody else does. That's why we play games, so we don't have to deal with our dumb lives, because our lives are all dumb and stupid and terrible, and we want to play something that's fun and helps us relax. Like, nobody wants to be yelled at by their video game. Shut the hell up. Get out of here with that. And it's pretty interesting. If you type in Atlus on Google, most of what you're going to see right now, and I believe Jim Sterling brought this up in one of his recent podcasts as well, most of what you're going to see if you start looking for Atlus stuff right now is just how pissed people are at them. Like, it has gone so far that it's destroyed their SEO. Now, the first things that are showing up are not like how great they are. Now it's how awful they are. And that, like, Sean, you understand as somebody who does web development for a living, how dangerous that can be when your top search results turn into negativity instead of positivity for whatever the product is.
True. Yeah, absolutely. It is one of the worst things that could happen to you if your only thing that's coming up in a search is just like, oh, look at this garbage company. Well, that is not going to reflect well. But on the other hand, that's the saying is, and any press is good press.
Right.
So, I mean, it's getting people talking about it. It's the people are paying attention, and it may make people like, oh, what is this game that all these people are talking about? Let me check it out. And they're like, oh, this game looks really cool. I'm going to play it. So it could be spun both ways. Yeah, they are getting a lot of attention, but it's not positive attention. So how is that going to affect, sales? How is that going to affect, their current, player base? So I really don't know. I do know that it pisses me off. So
yeah,
just
it makes me not want to buy the game.
No, and the sad thing is I'll probably buy it, but still,
I'll buy it used so they don't get any money from me.
Exactly.
I'll go down to the record exchange. Even if I want to buy it tomorrow, I'll go buy a used copy from a local place, and I'll pay, let's say it's $60. They'll have it on sale used for $53.
Yeah.
I'll go buy it that way before I'll give them money directly, because that's bullcrap.
Yeah, someone will post it up for sale used on Craigslist or Facebook, and I'll jump on it then. I'll buy $45 for it. So.
Right. But, stuff like this just makes me mad. It kind of makes me happy that I did, because, like, I've always been interested in those games, but I've never touted them as these great games because I've never had the patience to fight all the way through them. Well, then when I went on vacation and I discovered this one I really liked, I'm like, shit, dude, like, I'm going to play this all the time. This thing's awesome. And now I'm like,
maybe not.
Sure glad that I didn't jump on that. So, but yeah, I mean, I think I'm tired of companies treating their fans like garbage. Especially gaming companies, places like Ubisoft and those kinds of things.
The people we always talk about.
The people we always talk about.
Yeah.
The companies who are the usual suspects are always going to be the ones that are going to dump all over their fans. I wonder how long that's going to take before people start to rise up against them. And I mean, we did see it with Ubisoft here, and now we're starting to see it with Atlus, who arguably, I mean, Atlus has been around longer probably, but I would argue that Ubisoft is a larger developer in the mainstream than Atlus is, because Atlus really makes games that a very specific group of people like. Their fans are their fans, and they're always going to be their fans. So
yeah, and you're also talking about Ubisoft being a developer and a publisher, whereas Atlus is just a development studio. So they're going to have it's probably going to impact them far less, because the issues with Ubisoft tend to be further reaching than something that I think that Atlus is going to run into, because they have such a deep fan base that I think that they probably won't see a whole lot of issue with it. Because not everybody's going to stream the game. Not everybody's going to make videos. There's going to be people that are just going to play the game because they want to play the game, and they could, care less about that. So who knows? I hope that there is. I don't want to say that I want Atlus to be buried by this, but I would like them to learn a lesson on how they should be treating people who play that game. But I'm not going to hold my breath for it.
Well, and it's always one of those things, right? It's like if you tell somebody not to do something, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yes.
They want to do it more. So that really they just shot themselves in the foot. If they would have just sent out a tweet or something and said, "Hey, we'd appreciate it if you were careful about what you recorded, just because we're very proud of this game and we don't want it to be spoiled.
And we want to preserve it.
I would have respected that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have really respected that. However, somebody like me, like if I don't want to know the ending of something, I didn't beat The Last of Us till like a year or two ago. So like until the PS4 remaster came out. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I didn't look the ending up.
Nope.
Anything that looked like it was going to tell me the ending, I just didn't look at it. But now you're not going to have a choice, because there's going to be people that are trolling with this now because they know it's a thing. So I don't know. I feel like they shot themselves in the foot. So,
oh well.
But we lost Cory, unfortunately, but we are about out of time. So really quickly, we just wanted to do like a really quick outro. We wanted to thank our new podcast hosting. We wanted to thank everybody who has been listening to us and all the new fans that we've gotten through that process. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us. If you could, it would mean a lot to us if you could give us a little review and rate us. We prefer 5 stars, but if that's not what you think we deserve, then go ahead and leave that too.
Unacceptable. Only 5-star reviews are accepted.
Only 5 stars.
Only 5 stars.
So yeah, if you guys could do that for us and check out the sister podcast that I run, Nerds at Drive-Ins. You will see it if you search for Nerds at Drive-Ins or if you search for Nerd Life TX on anything. It'll come up, and it's just a dumb little movie podcast. I'd like to cover cult films, but I did do a small round table after the Ghost in the Shell movie came out, so that is up. Recently on the site, we've had a few articles go up. We have the full review of Ghost in the Shell, a beautiful film fans will despise. We have a impression video about Battle Princess Madeline and the Kickstarter information. We have a Kickstarter we are watching about a new tabletop game that Sean wrote. We also have a review of another band/song in my game to this series with Master Boot Record. So if you get some time, go ahead and check out the site over there. It is nerdlifetx.com. You can find it on social media, nerdlifetx.com, on just about everything. So you can find it on Instagram. What else, Sean? What do we have? We got Instagram,
Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Dogpile, like whatever. No, just if you got a social network of your choice, search for Nerd Life TX, and we might have an account on there. We might not, but chances are that it's there.
Yeah, so make sure you check that out. You can follow me on everything. I'm Nitro Weasel 3K on everything. So Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter, all the things.
What about your Grindr account? What's your Grindr account?
Yeah, you can find my Grindr account is at Sean_Piper. So you can look for me on there.
Good job.
That's fun. You're welcome. Shots across the bow. So make sure you check out our other projects. Make sure you subscribe if you can. We also want to mention that if you have a project you're working on and you want us to take a look at it, please feel free to reach out to us. You can find us you can reach out to either one of us individually. If you prefer talking to one of us than the other, that's cool. Or if you want to just get in touch with the site, you can email info@nerdlifetx.com, and that will go directly to Sean. He doles out all of our work from there. So get in touch with us. Anything that you guys do, feel free to let us know if you would like us to review it. We do get a few submissions here and there. We do have other things that are on our plate, so we might not always get to it right away. But anybody who submits something, we do try to take a look at it, and we do try to move it to the top of the pile if you specifically have asked us to take a look at it, because, you went out of your way to ask us, so we will go out of our way to do our best for you. So until next time, we appreciate you being there. It looks like Cory rejoined, maybe just in time to do a sign-off here. So, Cory, do you have a social media account or any other projects that you want anybody to take a look at?
Social media. I'm on Twitter at Church of Slack, and on Instagram you can find me at Shawn Michaels Lazy Eye.
Which is a great handle,
it's very, very true. As far as projects right now, I'm just trying to get everything going. Grassroots really at this point. Nothing in particular, but plenty of ideas. So
keep your eye out on nerdlifetx.com. You'll start to see Cory's stuff appearing hopefully here soon. And until next time, we appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for stopping by, and bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.